So I'm a big fan of the Huberman Lab podcast, and I've tried many of his protocols over the years. But the one that's had the biggest impact on my life is definitely his morning routine. Now, I'm not really into fancy routines. That being said, his approach is really grounded in science and evolutionary logic, which I really like. So I've been following a personalized version of this routine for quite a while now, and I'm probably going to keep it for the rest of my life because it works so well. And in this video, I'm going to decompose it step by step so they can make sense of it and then tailor it to your needs and to your reality if it helps. So the protocol starts at around 6:30. I wake up. Everything starts with sleep. It's probably the most important thing that people overlook all the time. These days, I wake up at 6:30, but that hasn't always been the case. In the past, I used to wake up much earlier when I was working in the morning or going to school. I was waking around 5:20 in the morning. Now I want to make something clear. Your wake up time has to make sense with the lifestyle that you have and the responsibilities that you have. So if you have kids, if you have a job that starts evening or whatever it is, you don't have to wake up so early. It is not because you see people on Instagram waking up at 4 in the morning to do 10 push-ups in their bathrooms at 4:20, they have to do the same. It's highly dependent on how you want to live your life. If you're more morning type person and more like midday afternoon person. And for me, I found out that I'm really productive in the morning and I really like to be more present in those early morning hours. And I used to struggle with sleep for 19 or 20 years of my life, but I went back down to the basics, and with consistency, I have now no problem going to sleep or waking up. Now, there's a few things that completely changed the sleeping part for me. The first one is for sure, and I recommend that to every one of my clients when I work with them on sleep optimization, but it's regular sleep schedule, because you have to prime your body to understand when it's time to sleep and when it's time to wake up. Inside your body, you have a biological clock, circadian rhythm, that is based on around 24 hours. So the thing is that this clock is really hard to set up, but once it's set up though, it's really good for the medium or long run. You have to give yourself the chance, go to a proper sleep schedule that is obvious to your system. It means waking up roughly at the same time every day and going to bed at the same time every day. Now, the second thing that was really important, that was key to me sleeping well, is the alarm from my bed and having to stand up to turn it off. So my bed is a couple feet away from my phone. And so in the morning when my alarm turns on, I have to wake up, stand up, and then turn off my alarm, which means I'm already standing up. And that for me is key, because I used to sleep with my phone right next to like even under my pillow. That's the worst thing that you can possibly do. And to distance your phone from your bed, having to stand up to turn off your alarm is probably going to help you a lot. Now, the last thing is that there's no phone for the first hour of the day. The only thing that I do on my phone is that I turn off the alarm. And for that, I just have to click the button on the side and that's it. Then I leave my phone. I go outside, which I'm going to talk about in a second, but I don't use my phone. I don't go on social media. I don't check emails. The second thing I do is I take my vitamins and supplements, you could call. So I take omega-3, vitamin D, and multivitamin. Those you don't have to take depending on what you eat and how you live your life and what sources of protein, fat, and everything that you're getting in your diet. But this is just my personal way of doing things. So vitamin D, because I live in Canada and the lack of sunlight is really prominent. Therefore, I have to make sure I'm packed on vitamin D every day of the year, and I'm not going to be able to synthesize the vitamin D and put it onto my bone using the sunlight. Since there's no sunlight to transform the vitamin D and to use it properly, I need to have enough of a bank of it so that whenever I'm exposed to sunlight, then my body is able to synthesize it. So this is why I take vitamin D. Multivitamin, I probably honestly don't even need it since my diet is balanced, but just because I'm lacking some sources of micronutrients, I'm taking it. And I don't want to be taking individual supplements. Therefore, I'm taking multivitamin to just compensate for the lack of whatever could be lacking. The last one I'm really interested in is omega-3, because I like good sources of omega-3. I don't eat avocados. I don't have fish in my diet because it's too expensive. I'm not a seed guy, so I don't eat that many seeds. So I take those omega-3 pills in the morning that have potential benefits on cognition, memory, and even mood. The only thing I would say is that in order to take your vitamins, you need to make sure you have a source of fat, because some vitamins, they need some source of fat and other ones are just able to be diluted in water. So you need to make sure you have fat if you're taking multivitamins. But since I'm taking omega-3 with the other vitamins, that's probably good. Third thing is that around 6:40 I go out. I walk outside and I expose myself to sunlight for it's around 15 minutes usually. I try and do this on days even when it's colder, which is really hard during the winter here, or when it's rainy. I don't have any particular pace. I really try and relax. I try and clear my mind. I don't have a particular itinerary. I just try and go outside and just walk and find the sun. That's pretty much my mission. I try to be conscious of my mental and physical environment. So for example, I'm kind of like sort of in a meditative state because I'm right out of sleep. So I'm still a little bit of mentally asleep. I'm not fully present. And I take the time to try and increase my awareness regarding my mental space and whatever I'm thinking about, because it's usually related to the sleep I had and to the emotional stuff that my brain has processed during the nights prior. I really enjoy it too because of the physical environment that's around me, because there are very few people that go out 6:40 in the morning. And so I kind of have this trick to myself, which is, again, rare, especially in big cities like Montreal. This is something I really did not enjoy in the beginning, but this is something now that I really look for every single day, because exposing yourself to the first light of the day feels just right. And breathing the air outside first feels like you're priming your brain and body just for a good day. Like the definition of a good day starts with a walk outside and exposing yourself to light. That just seems to make a lot of sense to me. Then I come back to my place and I eat breakfast. Now, for some of you guys that may not be eating breakfast, for 15 years of my life, for like 17 years of my life, I didn't have breakfast, and I thought that I just wasn't a breakfast person. Now, the truth of it was that I was just sleeping poorly and waking up so late before going to school that my stomach was just not ready to eat. Nowadays, my breakfasts are really simple. It's usually eggs and bread and milk or some sort of Greek yogurt and fruit. So I want a source of fat. I want a source of protein. I want fibers. I want to be able to break the fast with something that's heavy enough so that it sustains me for the next 3 to 4 hours, but not so heavy that I have to go back to sleep because I feel like my stomach is full. Just in the beginning, if you're not eating breakfast currently, just eat whatever you want to eat in the morning, as long as it's not crazy food like donuts or fried stuff or anything. Just try to enjoy it, because not eating breakfast and starting to get accustomed to it is really important, and it's a process that takes a little bit of time. I remember for me, I needed to find the right recipes and the timing for me to wake up and eat at a certain point. Now, most days I don't have any caffeine, and if I do, it's an hour after waking up, which is something Huberman really highlights every time. So I'm trying to follow that rule. I don't drink coffee. If I drink caffeine in the morning, it's going to be green tea, which is a very small quantity of caffeine contained, because I personally don't want to be hyper reliant on caffeine to keep me focused. But it does mean that on some days when I'm a little bit sick, when I haven't had a good night's sleep, then it means that my brain is slow and my eyes on the page feel like they're really heavy, and I really have to prioritize my sleep. So everything goes back to sleep. Now, after the breakfast, so around 7:30 to like 7:45, I go to my room and I'm going to do deep work. I'm going to work on writing my scripts for my videos. I'm working to work on my editing, learning how to whatever skill that I'm working on currently. And I usually separate this block. So it's block 1, which is an hour and a half, 90 minutes, into 2 different blocks of 45 minutes. Because I've figured out that my brain really likes to do different things and not the same thing during an extended period of time. I work with a timer in front of me, 45 minutes timer. You put it on Google, you find it in 2 seconds. And I try and work with one tab open. Most of the time, I'm listening to music while I'm working, and I'm trying and really not get distracted. So I try and pour all my energy in the morning to those creative things that I'm doing, which are those videos that I really enjoy making. My phone is not in my room and my laptop is on D&D, so I don't get any notifications. Now, most people, including my past self, are not productive at all because we are being so distracted. It's not the fact that we don't have any capacity for concentration. It's the fact that we distract ourselves with everything that we can find in order to avoid doing the hard thing. I changed my perspective on it because I started doing things that I enjoy. Before that, the hard stuff was just going to school or going to work that I don't enjoy or having to do things for people that I don't want to work for. So find some sort of activity. It can be anything that you enjoy doing, that you're looking forward to do. And if you start with that in the morning with creativity, curiosity, you're going to feel fulfilled during the first hours of the day, which makes the whole day go by faster and feels better because you're opening your day with something that you truly enjoy. Now, if you have a job that is not your passion, it is your duty to create something or to find some sort of activity in the resting hours of the day. Now, I always suggest you do this in the morning, but some people are going to be more evening type, and then I remember a client telling me that he writes poems after work. So like when the kids are asleep and it's 9 p.m. and glass of wine or whatever it is, find whatever works for you. I also recommend the book Deep Work from Cal Newport if you're really interested in being more productive and focused and to be able to have a life outside of the hustle, to have a creative life or to have a professional life that's more productive. Whatever it might be, this book is really good. And I conclude my morning with the workout. So I work out 5 to 6 days a week. I work out for around 15 minutes to an hour top. And I talked about my sleep in the previous video. So if you're interested in that, it's going to be in the 10.8% body fat video, which I'm going to link. And I've tried working out at different times of the day because I've been working out for a few years now. So before I used to work out in the afternoon after class or when I had 9 to 5, sometimes I was training at 6 in the morning. For me, the training doesn't get any better than working out late in the morning. So like 10 or 11, I really enjoy that. This is when I just feel like I have the most energy and when I feel like I really want to work out the most because I had my cozy morning routine, but still creativity and productivity in it. And then it's kind of a cut in between the mental work that I'm doing for myself and then my real work. Because after I'm done using my brain with creativity in the morning, I just need to exhaust my body. So otherwise, I'm going to feel like I still have a lot of physical energy, but no mental energy, and I don't recover that well. And then the last thing I do is that I move on to my working day, which is from noon till 7. So I'm going to be working 6 to 7 hours coaching people. And that concludes it. So working on myself and having this morning routine and this hygiene in my life has helped me tremendously. This is something that amplifies the presence during the day, the productivity, my kind of quality of life too. And I've been more productive using this routine than I've ever been my whole life because it makes me feel good. Even if I don't get the most work done because I could work more hours, I still have the best ratio in between quality of life and productivity, which I really enjoy. The only thing I would warn you against if you're going for a morning routine or if you're thinking about customizing yourself one is to not fall for the trap of thinking that you need to do everything, because it's easy to take a look at the routines online and to see those people doing meditation, saunas, cold plunges, 4 hours of deep work, journaling, everything else. And I did that. I added the cold plunging, I added the journaling, the meditation. It was too much of a to-do list to be enjoyable in the morning. In any case, I really hope this helps. Tell me what you think of this, and I see you in the next video. In the meantime, it's just trust the process.